It is 9:02 and I call the meeting of the Baker County Board of Commissioners to order. Next would be to consider approval of adoption of the agenda.
I would move the approval of the adoption of the agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Consent agenda action items. First is consider approval of the minutes.
I would move we approve. Do we want both minutes together or just separate motions?
I didn't really see any problems with either one of them, so.
I can do it as one motion as long as you list the date.
Okay, I would make the motion to approve the minutes from May 28th and June 11th.
I will second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes for May 28 and June 11 meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Consider approval of bills and payroll. You had a chance to look at them?
Yes, I did. One thing I did notice, and it happens, we really had a large inmate medical bill. Seemed like bigger than usual. I mean, I don't know we have to pay it, but it just seemed like it was larger than usual.
Yeah, and I know our sheriff is looking into different options for insurances and stuff to kind of help with that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what that's looking like yet, if it's gonna make sense for the county to do something like that or not, but he was looking at getting quotes for that.
did you notice that? It was that larger, yeah.
Yeah, we had some, quite a bit.
Any other discussion?
None for me.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'd make the motion that we approve bills and payroll. If you wanna do the dates on them and which run it was, I don't have that in front of me.
Second.
So June run 2 and June run 3 for bills, and then the payroll is the 626 payroll.
So it's moved and seconded to approve the payroll for June 26th. And the June 2026 run 3 and also June 2026 run 2. All those in or any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
$25th.
Next is consider approval of the August meeting dates.
So July is like a long month. The week of 10th, I have meetings. So we would do. If we do it the 13th and the 27th, then there's 2 weeks. So I had it like 6th and the 20th. That way my bond I don't interfere.
I won't remember for the sixth.
Okay, so.
About that week.
Okay, so do we wanna go with 13th or the 27th? Have that 2 weeks. I've been there.
I'm good with the 13th and the 27th, if that works for you guys.
Yep,
Because we're gonna have that special meeting
On the
on the
7th.
29th of July,
yeah.
so we really won't go.
I got notes again, I got back to you.
No, I'm gonna say I.
Sorry.
I got notes again.
I'm gonna take that one. So we're doing it. The 20th?
Yeah, special meeting will be the 29th. Normal meeting will be 13th of August and then 27th of August.
When did you have to be gone, Linda?
That weekend, the
So we'll,
10th, but that's okay till we
I'll
can
be
be
here,
here.
I'm in, okay. So I'll make the motion for the August meeting dates to be set as the 13th and the 27th.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve August 13 and 27 for our meeting dates. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, previously tabled action items. Consider approval of the Pitt County Economic Developer job.
So Rose and I were working with a specialist that does economic development, and she had looked over the job description that we had and had suggested a couple of changes. And then Wick and I were talking about it yesterday, and I don't know that we can make some of the changes that she was asking for. And Rose, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on this because the CSU money specifically states in there that it can be used for a position for land use and it can be used for an economic developer position. If we change the wording of what that job is, I'm worried that it might interfere with being able to use those funds for that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so I wanted
Yes.
to run that past you and see what your thoughts were. Because I understand what she was recommending and what she was trying to go for, and I really liked it. The only time that it came into discussion was when Wick and I were talking about it, and I was like, oh, but it's specifically worded as a developer position in that agreement. And so if we change the job description, I don't want to have to fight with CSU on whether or not it's appropriate to use that.
I think you've got two options. I think one, you could run it past CSU and get them to approve it, if that's something you would like to do. But my second suggestion, and obviously it's up to you all as commissioners, I think Commissioner Schofield and I worked on an economic developer position that kind of pared it down. And maybe we just start with our pared down one and see and kind of circulate that in the community and see what comes up. In the meantime, we can always tweak it if we need to based on feedback we're getting. And I think some of those other steps, one of the things we had talked about is bringing in or having you all meet with the Department of Economic Development and International Trade. You can meet with DOLA. You can see what type of grants there are out there so that you're not just relying on one pool. So I think that there's a lot of steps that are that this strategist gave us that I think we can still do in the meantime and just circulate the pared down position that we came up with. And then again, if you don't get any bites, then we can modify it. And if you get a lot of bites, we can always modify it. So I think you've got a few options. You could also just table it and give it a little bit more time, however you all want to do it.
So I know that my preference would be that we get something approved and in place so we can, when we're ready to post it and move forward and do something, we have that option without having to run it through another meeting. So I know that would kind of be my preference, just to get something in place so we can start having these options. You guys have any other thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, our meetings aren't every week so at times investments here, so you're right, we need to just probably get this ball rolling.
Okay. One change from where we pared it down that I did want to take from the strategist's recommendation was that instead of having it posted as the hourly, to do it as the annual, what the salary is on it. Or do you have any issues with that? I think it just looks more appealing than somebody having to take the hourly amount and figure out, well, what is that for my annual then? When you just see those annual numbers, it looks a little better. I thought, when I saw the two different ways of posting it. So that would be my other recommendation. So I guess I'll make the motion that we approve the pared down Benton County economic developer job description with the change of this annual salary in the posting.
What is the annual salary?
Don't have it here in front of me.
Okay.
It went well.
I'm sorry.
I can figure it out. I can figure it out right now. So it was a range. And it is from 45,760 to 54,080 was the range.
I will second the motion.
Been moved and seconded to approve the Big County Economic Developer job description. With the stated range of salary, annual salary. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, moving to action items. Consider approval and authorize Alex Chair to sign an independent contractor agreement between Benton County Commissioners and Lisa Farmer and Melinda Mestis to perform financial and accounting services for Benton County Department of Social Services. Any discussion?
This is a pretty straightforward agreement that we've had.
They've already started actually. I will move to authorize Alex Chair to sign an independent contract agreement from Benton County Commissioners and Lisa Farmer and Melinda Mestis to perform financial and accounting services for Benton County Department of Social Services.
I will second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to authorize myself to sign an independent contractor agreement between Benton County Commissioners and Lisa Farmer and Melinda Mestis to perform financial and accounting services for Benton County Department of Social Services. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Submit can. Next, consider approval and authorize Alan Stump Chair to sign an MOU amendment number 4 between Colorado Department of Early Childhood and Benton County Department of Social Services. Any discussion?
Do we know when CJ was planning on being here? This morning, he's on the,
Yeah, oh, sorry.
he's on for information and discussion, and I just didn't know if we wanted to wait and go through some of these with him to where he can explain some of these a little bit more.
And commissioners, if I may, you can absolutely do that. A lot of these, so because the state fiscal year ends June 30th, a lot of these amendments are coming forward for the next fiscal year. So I actually haven't seen as many for Benton County as I have for some of my other counties, but this is basically a pretty standard MOU between the two. I did review it and approved it. So again, if you want,
I don't mind to keep things moving and to go ahead and proceed with them.
however the commissioners prefer, you can absolutely do it either way, but this is pretty standard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I would make the motion that we approve and authorize Alan Stump Chair to sign the MOU amendment number 4 between Colorado Department of Early Childhood and Benton County Department of Social Services.
Say,
Been moved and seconded to approve and authorize myself to sign MOU amendment number 4 between Colorado Department of Early Childhood and Benton County Department of Social Services. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
I,
Right.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Sign on the top one, right?
One says chair,
Yeah. It's concerned that somebody switches the rules.
yeah, you're good.
Okay. Consider approval of an IGA between Benton County and Otero County for economic assistance services for the Benton County Department of Social Services. Any discussion?
I don't have any, so I think the motion, Jennifer's ready.
Yeah, I don't have any concerns with it.
Okay, I move to approve the IGA between Benton County and Ontario County for economic assistance services for Benton County Department of Social Services.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve an IGA between Benton County and Otero County for economic assistance services for the Benton County Department of Social Services. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
With this IGA is there's no commissioner signature, it's just through the director, which is the way it's set up. I didn't notice that till today, but there is no commissioner signature. Spot on this one, it's just through both the directors.
Okay, well, we'll have it in our minutes that the commissioners did approve the agreement. We'll have to see if we need to fix the signature lines or not.
Change the whole setting just till the day.
All right. Next is consider approval and authorization for commissioner signatures on the certification of funds for social services expenditures totaling $77,061.66 for June. Any discussion?
No, I'll make the motion that we approve the authorization for commissioner signatures on the certification of funds for social services expenditures totaling $77,061.66 for June.
We have a grand total down here of 323,000. That's the year?
Yeah, so the amount that you're approving that's the amount, the way that these work, the way that they've always worked so far, so that's the actual amount that you're paying.
That's got the 77 there and
Yeah,
these disappear at a 77.
Yeah, that's the amount that you're actually paying. It took me a little while to get used to those two and see the numbers, because this is the page that goes to the treasurer's office, and that's actually the amount, is the 77,000.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the second. Had our discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Yes. Just so we didn't have 48,000 copies of that thingy.
All 162 pages. It's an electronic signature and really official anyway, so.
You know, if we can have a signed one on hand, that would be.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be a finite.
They might not have a signature page on some.
There is, yeah. That's like a PAI one.
I think I've got another notice that's going for. It's not, don't you?
Is it just the electronic signature?
Yeah. Oh, no, there.
Uh,
That's it.
That's the one you need.
No, that's
I was thinking I'd seen one when I was scrolling through all the pages.
Well, I had two, so.
60 pages in, that's where I put the signature page. So,
No, it's on page 4.
Okay, so,
Oh, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
all right. So we are now on number 5. Consider approval and authorize Alan Chair to sign an IGA between Benton County and the Colorado Department of Corrections.
Commissioners have reviewed this and it complies as to form. I think at some point we should talk to the sheriff, continue those conversations with the sheriff. And I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Motion?
Well, I would make the motion to authorize Alan Stunt Chair to sign IGA between Benton County and the Department of Corrections. Do we want that amount in there?
I think it's all posted. I don't know if that needs to be, I think, Rose, do we have to put that contract amount in there?
You can. And I'm sorry, this got on late, so
Yeah.
normally we do add that in. So it's up to you all. If you want to add that in, Commissioner Hemphill, absolutely.
You have the number in front of you, you can read it off.
Yeah. Of the amount of $39,704,091.
Okay. All right. We've got a motion and a second.
Yeah.
You second. Okay. have that so I can read the. If that's one. Been moved and seconded to approve and authorize myself to sign an IGA between Benton County and Colorado Department of Corrections in the amount of 39,704,091 dollars. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. And get this signed electronic, please, once we get out of here.
You give it back where you want to get it. That one's yours, that's one with her packet. Wasn't that the front page that we all had? Paying attention to right now. We do.
Well, where did the so then? If you can keep that.
Thanks. Yeah. Yep. So that is yours, since you had it available to read. All right. Informational discussion. Quick.
I don't think I have anything right now for you guys, off the head. What we got going on. So I mean, so this week with what the planning, and the public hearing, everything getting postponed. Threw a wrinkle into all of it, but I don't think I have anything for you guys.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Do we need to go into a DSS board meeting, or are we just discussing?
As I understand it, it was just an update. So we can do,
Okay.
we can do
Yeah.
a quick update. If you want to recess, open up DSS, do the update there, it's really up to you all, but I don't think it's a formal DSS meeting.
Not necessary.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think so.
Everybody agree?
Yep.
Okay. So, what have you for us?
Oh, hello, guys. As shared a couple of days ago, I believe actually yesterday, did find out of all the small counties, we are performing in the top 3 for our HICPUF Medicaid applications processing. So we're doing really good on the eligibility side of it. Our child support services is getting really in the mix of things. We are going through APA certification right now for that employee. So we'll be able to cut down on some of our legal expense because we'll be able to start establishing some cases in-house. So that was one thing that's really going to help our department when it comes to some of the expense that we're seeing in this child support establishment side, because that one doesn't get reimbursed at the same rate as the other ones, actually the least of the reimbursement. So there's some positive things happening there. On today's agenda was the Otero IGA. That's just for them to help us provide some stabilization to our CCAP program. And we helped them, I believe, last year around the same time when they had a new worker come on, and this is just them helping us return that favor. So other than that, things are going really well. Child welfare has had a number of cases this past month, with 8 kids being removed in total over the last month or so. So you're gonna see some increase over the next period of time as those get stabilized and put into places. We're actively gonna be seeking to get some new foster homes and parents in our area, specifically parents that have homes. So that way we can lessen some of the cost when they have to go through a placement agency out of Pueblo or other areas. So if we can get some families in our local area established and certified, cutting down on that cost, and it's also gonna be less disruptive to the children. So that's some of the things that we're working on this coming month and going forward as a department as a whole.
What's the steps to finding a foster home? How do you go about that?
So that's actually part of that process I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna
Oh,
have
okay.
a full thing on
Yeah.
what it is and how it looks like in the certification program that I have to go to. That really goes on Tanya and Tanya's side of things with her supervision over the child welfare, so I'm unsure, but I have asked for that list, so that way when I go out into the public and I start trying to promote and get people to do these things, I can answer that question a little bit more solidly. One of the things is there's a safety assessment that goes into play in ensuring that the house is in a safe enough to house these children and going to it, and then of course, the background check and those type of things. Any other questions for me?
You kind of ran through everything. The one question I did have was that we had had an applicant for the director position. Have we heard back on the interest of scheduling an interview? Have we heard back anything on that?
Yes, I did hear back late last night that they are interested in having an interview. And I sent an email last night to HR to let them know, so that way we can move forward on this. So,
Great.
all right, well, thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, CJ. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Yep. Okay. Update from our attorney.
Thank you, commissioners. I'm wondering if it would make sense to go into your executive session right now on water issues since you have David Hayes on, and then Wick and I can do our updates after. But however you all want to do it, I just want to make sure we're being efficient with David's time and that you all you pay for David's time. So I just okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
No, I will make the motion that we go into executive. Get your recorder going, sorry. Okay, I will make the motion that we go into executive session pursuant to CRS 24-6-402-4B, conference with the attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions on water issues.
It has been moved and seconded to go into executive session. Yes. We've got the statutes and, okay.
Stump,
I,
Canfield,
Aye.
Schofield, aye.
so it is June 25th, 2026. The time is 9:34. For the record, my name is Alan Stump. I'm the presiding officer. As required by the open meetings law, this executive session is being electronically recorded. Also present at this executive session are the following persons: Linda Moss, clerk and recorder; Jennifer Schofield, commissioner; myself, commissioner; Phil Hemphill, commissioner; Wick Turner, county administrator. Online, we have Rose Puglisi, the county attorney, and David Hayes, our water attorney. I caution each participant to confine all discussion to the stated purpose of the executive session and that no formal action may occur in the executive session. If at any point in the executive session, any participant believes that the discussion is going outside of the proper scope of the executive session, please interrupt the discussion and make an objection. This is an executive session for the following purpose or purposes. CRS 24-6-402-4B, conferences with the attorney for the board for the purposes of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions.
This is Rose Puglisi, county attorney. Because this executive session involves legal advice, I'm advising the board that no recording be kept and the recorder be turned off.
Give session and
I'll take it.
I'm sorry, can you restate that motion? I don't know if the recording turned on in the middle of that.
I think Linda's recording was on, but the Zoom recording was not.
Oh.
I'll re-
Okay.
Yeah, so motion was to exit our executive session and return to our open meeting.
And I second it.
Okay, been moved second to exit the session.
Stump,
Aye.
Canfield,
Aye.
Schofield,
Aye.
Okay.
And
Motion passes and I hereby attest that this recording reflects the actual contents of the discussion at the executive session and has been made to satisfy the recording requirements of the open meetings law. For the record, if any person who participated in the executive session believes that any substantial discussion of any matters not included in the motion to go into the executive session occurred during the executive session, or that any improper action occurred during the executive session in violation of the open meetings law, I would ask that you please state your concerns for the record at this time. Hearing none, I will hand the tape to the secretary to retain for a 90-day period. The time is now 10:04, and we now conclude the executive session and return to the open meeting. Next thing.
Thanks, everyone.
Agenda
Sign off.
items.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
All right. So do we go into another executive session now?
I don't know. Do you need one? If you don't,
that first one's always on there.
It was
Okay.
the water one, it's just the one that we needed.
Okay. All right.
that's just your emergency executive session in case something comes up that we didn't realize and didn't make the agenda. Okay. Do you want me to give my update?
That would be fine.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to give you a heads up on the progress of the 1041 regulations. I did go to the Planning Commission meeting, and we received some feedback from industry that some of it I agreed with, some of it I have to really think about. And so I told Planning Commission just in the short time frame that they provided those comments, and they're not just easy like changes where I'm like, oh yeah, sure, we can make these changes and it's not a big deal. Some of them I really need to make sure it doesn't have an impact on the county. So in that vein, I had a good conversation with Planning Commission, and we decided that we would table that 1041 recommendation to you all until their next meeting. I'm going to work up a red line based on what the changes I accept and don't accept. Bring those to Planning Commission to consider. And then those recommendations can then go to you all. So I anticipate that your public hearing on the 1041 regulations, so this is wind, solar, and battery storage, will happen in August. If you recall, when industry was in the room and we did the moratorium, they said, you can't wait 6 months. We need this done. And at that time, I committed to the end of August was when I thought realistically we could have it finished. So we are completely on track. I mentioned that on the record as well during our public hearing. So I don't think there's any issues from industry. They really want to work with us. I will continue to work with them, but my priority is obviously always protecting the county and your constituents. So I'm working through that. I'm hoping to have that done by the end of next week. I'll be sending you all an email. I generally try to spend some time with my kids in July, and so we will be out of the country. And I didn't realize that your meeting, because of just the way July fell, is on that week that I'll be out of the country. So I will talk to Mark Waller about covering your meeting. I'll still be available, but my internet will be spotty. So my goal is to get everything I need to get done for you guys done before that. I'm only gone for a week. And so, obviously I'll be available on text too, Wick, if you need me. But I think if we can get that back and in a good place for Planning Commission, I think that'll be good. And then they also are anxious to get healing centers done. the regulations around that. I need to talk to them, and then I need to talk to you all about what zoning districts. That's really the big thing. Everything else is mostly regulated by state, but I need to know what zoning districts you all are comfortable having healing centers. Those are the medicinal mushrooms, where if they were to come in the county, you'd be comfortable having them. Unlike marijuana, you're not the ballot question did not allow you all to opt out. It just said you can write up regulations. So Planning Commission is very interested for some reason in those regulations. So I'll have a preliminary conversation with them about zoning districts. Then I'll bring that back to you to get your feedback. And then I'll finalize those regulations and put them through your process. It would be an amendment to your planning and zoning manual. So those are the two things. I'm still working on the community center to just make sure we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's for understanding what we need to do there. But I hope to have that to you. And then your planning commission, and Wick, maybe you've got some background or commissioners on this. It was an interesting question that I don't really understand. But they have a huge issue with human waste on properties. Um, and so they wanted me to do some research, which I'm happy to do, on human waste. I think we need to bring in public health. So what I said was at their next public hearing, we would bring in public health. They said public health won't do anything about it. Um, I mean, I'm not sure how much defecation around your county is happening, that it's like that big of an issue that we need to bring it, but maybe some background might be helpful for me.
So Rick Ritter, the director for public health, has already been brought into this, and he has already said that he was gonna go out and do some site visits and do some just collecting of information to see what, if anything, we can do. But I mean, he already is aware of it. He knows what's going on. He has to make sure that we are falling within the law of what we can and can't do for private property. So we haven't had another Board of Health meeting to know what he has found. It was at our last meeting that he had stated that he was gonna be going out and doing some site visits and things like that. So I should be getting an update probably next month on what he found out there.
So what would you like me to do with Planning Commission? Just have them wait for Rick Ritter to be able to update them maybe, or update you all, and then you guys can update them. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like top of mind for them.
Yeah, I think we need to let public health do their job, and he needs to go through the process. He's the one that knows what the requirements are, what we can and can't do. So I think we really need to revert back to him at this point and see what his recommendations and thoughts are. Let him do the research and document what's going on.
Okay, that sounds great. I will let Planning Commission know. Commissioner Schofield, since you're on the Board of Public Health, I don't know if you want to just reach out to Reagan. I know she's out of town for the summer, but maybe just let her know that you guys are on top of it. Like I said, it was a huge topic of conversation, and they're like, what do we do? And I was like, I need to get some more information. So
Yeah, you can reach.
I think that would be great.
Sure.
Okay, and so then we'll have our next planning commission meeting, 1041s, and discussion on healing centers. And then we've got our special meeting, which I will work on with Bry, on making sure all those notices go out. Just because we have 15 days doesn't mean we have to, use 15 days. We can do it even sooner just to make sure all of our I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Again, my apologies on that. And Brian and I are doing more check-ins as well. So I think that'll be good. And he really is, like, he's tried so hard. I have to remember that he doesn't know everything I know. And so I just need to slow step it just a little bit. But he's really committed, and I think it's great. So I think those are all. Um, who's in the room? Is it just you all?
Yes.
Oh, but this is never mind. Okay, that's the end of my update for now. Thank you.
I guess kind of, because you brought up the land use thing, Bry is right now, he is working on those notices, so he's currently getting all of those put together. And we did get word back from Otero on the building inspector stuff. Otero doesn't, they don't think they can, they don't think they have the time to help us out on that. So I talked to Bry, I told him as soon as he's done with this, getting the notices out, I told him to look into the building inspector side of things. From what I can tell on a really quick Google search, I don't think it's gonna be that hard of a deal to maybe just make that happen on our end. It might take a little bit of time for the interim, we'll have to figure something else out. But I think I'm gonna try and, gradually force feed him into just becoming one, because it doesn't look like it's gonna be a massive undertaking. It looks like one of those things where it's on us, it's our regulation anyways, kind of a thing, so the building inspector side isn't this huge deal because of what we're doing, just like I said, from quick Google search, but I'm gonna look into that more with him and see, just with Otero turning us down and I still don't fully understand what Prowers does. But we're just gonna look into that on that side, whenever he gets this deal, where we're comfortable.
So for Prowers, we don't have building permits, we have zoning permits.
Okay,
Because they couldn't get a building inspector in place. So that might be a topic of conversation. Um, I think working with the city might be interesting. So either if you want to keep building permits, I think that maybe seeing if there's another county that could help might be helpful, or getting BRI certified. I don't know what that's all about, what that would look like. Or potentially just changing it into just zoning permits instead of a building permit. But all of those are things that we can talk about going forward. Maybe you all can think on that and see if you've got a preference. But Prowers had that same, is my understanding. It was before my time, but that they had that same issue trying to find building inspectors, and so they just foregoed it and went with zoning permits.
I like that idea, personally. That might actually, yeah. Something to look at though.
Yeah, I think we have a couple of different things to look into, and then we can try to figure out what's the best direction to go in.
That sounds great. Just let me know.
Thank you.
And that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Any more core requests?
Try to say it out loud.
So we got one yesterday. Did you get that one I sent you?
Yeah, Deanna's working on it.
They come to the court?
I mean, nothing crazy.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just didn't see that one.
Sorry, I can show you.
No, you're good. I just want to make sure I'm not missing shit.
No, it came on the fax. I don't know everyone's sudden obsession with the fax.
You're good at facts.
We
Yeah.
use the fax machine, but
Well, and we took fax off of our Cora forms so that people would stop doing that. So it must have been an old form.
no, I don't even know if they look on the website. I think they just do that on purpose.
Well, ours came in with their,
Yes.
what came out on the fax, didn't it?
She told me she was not gonna do that, so. This is some lawyer.
Instead of attorneys liking fax machines, Rose.
I do not have a fax machine. Yeah. So Cora, I mean, I would say is pretty stable. I would say actually out of all of my counties, you get the least amount of Cora requests, thank goodness. I don't want to jinx that today, but I think it's been really good. And we've got a good team that works through it. So thank you, Linda, for all that.
How much good I do, but.
You're on top of it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Good. Anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Nothing for me.
Do you have anything you came up with? Okay.
Nothing else, then I would move that we adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.